Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Color Stories. And I have to admit, when you see the stuff I've pulled, I'm a little bit all over the place today. The color for this month is turquoise. I've added that to our Roy G. Biv kind of color palette. I've been gathering materials for a good while in the studio because a lawn care company had pulled up and was making a tremendous amount of noise next door. So my coffee's probably gone a little cold. Hopefully my dog is tired from barking at the lawn service people. So we're going to work today on the turquoise giveaways. Now, I have to tweak the schedule of this a little bit. Normally, I post the giveaway early in the month, which I'm trying to do now. Today is the 12th. This video will air on the 13th. I'm not sure whether I have to do the reveal of this giveaway winner, maybe a little bit early, maybe a little bit late, because I've got some travel end of May, beginning of June. So I will keep you posted on that. Needless to say, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on this video if you want to be entered to win. All of the rules and details and specifications are in the video descriptions. Not affiliated with YouTube, domestic US shipping only, things like that. So I've pulled, this horse is an ancient statue out of a magazine, and while it's not turquoise, it has lovely turquoise patina. So I thought the earthy tones would be a nice contrast with turquoise in collage. I have some different faux stamps. These two, again, as a nice contrast with turquoise, and this one with this, dog artwork. I've got butterfly washi tape. I have a butterfly sticker. Turquoise, the sky. Okay, that makes sense. I have a seal. And that's pretty big, so that's probably not going to make it into these two giveaways, just for the scale of it on these 5x8 kind of finished pieces. I have a tarot card, the star, symbolizing hope, something that we all need to keep a strong hold of and treasure these days. And then some different collage ephemera pieces. This is from a Japanese woodblock. This is by Vincent van Gogh, and this is, well, it's pointillist, so it's probably by Seurat. So again, turquoise as a color, the pink is a nice contrast. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. But the stuff that I've pulled, there's so much yummy paper. Some for contrast, yes. Some Egyptian papyrus, paste paper, bubble printed paper, marbleized paper, artist-made paper I made, mulberry paper. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm going. Maybe there's florals in the star. It's nice to have some kind of, it's not required. I like to have some kind of piece that's kind of a focal point. So that's kind of a starting point, so that then I can work compositionally to make sure that this shows up well and clearly. But then things like this are a nice accent after I've done the collaging on the page. And get started on working these two. I think it's going to be a lot of collage, maybe a little splish splash of watercolor, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So before I get started on this, please, if you are so inclined, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Then you'll be entered to win, but also to like the video, to leave comments below. I'm thrilled to know that you're out there, and it really helps my channel grow over the course of this year with Color Stories and future years with other incarnations of Weekly Spark. So like and subscribe, stay tuned, and watch this turquoise palette spark some creativity for me. So I just recorded the entire voiceover for this video and it wasn't recording. Let's try that again. I'm starting out here with some Faber-Castell gelatos. I really like the texture. I think the colors are perfect. You can leave them as is. You can blend them slightly with water on your finger. You can blend them completely with water on a brush, which is what I decided to do. And even though I only put it down in, 60, 70% of the collage, I did get coverage over the whole thing. Decided I'd give it a little spritz with some watercolor just to break up those marks. There's going to be a lot of paper in this one because I had such a nice selection to choose from. I'd already cut the horse kind of in half. I knew I wanted to place it compositionally on the left side since that's the way it was heading. So then it was just a question of picking paper, tearing some interesting shapes, having a contrast of straight edges on the border of the piece versus torn edges on the interior of the piece, because that's kind of a thing I do a lot. Encyclopedia text, because that's also a thing I do a lot. When you have an entire Encyclopedia Britannica, you're never at a loss for paper. This horse placement gave me that little pale spot behind his neck, and so tearing a nice torn edge on this strip of paste paper I thought was a good fix to, again, create a nice border on that side of the collage, but cover up that little bare spot that was kind of distracting to me. Switching to the other one, a little mark making with the, is this the same one? I've lost track of which one I did what things to. Okay, forget about the base layer. We're working with the collage now. A few more marks from a Stabilo Woody water-soluble crayon that I did soften up with my finger, and then just lots of paper. The main piece that you see has kind of some stenciling and some florals on it is a piece that I made. So I still have that flower stamp and I still have that mandala stencil, and they might be incorporated into this piece again. Yeah, just deciding on my layout and getting everything glued down. So, okay, we're back to this one now. We're going to finish it off with stenciling. Because of the turquoise and the horse combination, it had me thinking of water. It had me thinking of the Greek myth where Poseidon created horses out of the white-capped waves of the ocean, since the ocean was his domain. And so I picked this stencil specifically, and the colors that I'm stenciling with, to have that kind of watery wave reference. It goes with the shape of the statue of the horse. There were some wave forms there at his feet, but I just accentuated that since that was kind of the mythological reference going on in my mind. This corner stencil is really fun to play with because you can tile it, you can repeat it, you can do a full circle, half circle, but I do like it in the corner of a piece. It was a bit more angular than I was thinking with the water references, but it fit so nicely and it was kind of the right detail that I think this piece needed. Just thinking I need a little bit more wave at the bottom. I'm also feeling very distracted by the blue tape with all of these turquoise colors in the collage. So the sooner that I can get that peeled off and kind of read the collage as a whole, I think the better. Why am I doing this with my finger? Well, all my stencil brushes had been used and were in the water. And once they're in the water, I don't like to pull them out and use them again because I just find they're too wet and they don't stencil effectively. So just literally finger painting to give a little interest and not have this be kind of a dead space in the corner. So I fixed a tear where the pale aqua green tissue paper tore. Put that down with glue stick. Um, Edges were a little bit uneven. Some of the mulberry paper was very fibery. And so this is just a zebra marker. It's nothing fancy, but it was a nice color. And I thought it would be good to kind of solidify the edges. There are some gaps that I can fill in with this marker just to make things look more finished. But all in all, I love the colors. I mean, these are some of my favorite colors, so this was a pleasure to do. And I'm happy with how it turned out. It was inspired by that horse ephemera from, I don't even remember where, probably an antiques magazine, and just playing with paper and some stencils. So pretty straightforward, but satisfying. So this one I'm really loving. This one definitely resonating with me more than the horse. I'm not exactly sure why, whether it's the composition or the tarot card focal image. I just am not sure. But I have this really simple stamp. It's made from, foam kitchen tray. And it was the flower image that you can see in that collage piece, kind of top center. So in an effect to tie all my layers together, I'm repeating that same flower image on top of the collage pieces I've done. So we've got that motif that's not only tying together all the layers of the collage, but in some ways, in my mind, the repeat white flower is echoing the repeat white stars in the card. And so that visually works for me. I was just brushing the paint on with a paintbrush. I didn't even pull out a brayer since it was just such a small piece. Taking a risk here, trying to stamp the same thing twice, but it worked out okay. It could be done right now, but I have these two elements of the darker teal on the bottom underneath the card and then the tall stripe on the right. So I'm kind of feeling like I want a little bit more of that dark teal somewhere. This is the same stencil that is in that kind of honey color on my handmade decorative paper, but I think it's too big. So this smaller version is related, has the same kind of design vocabulary, but isn't nearly as big. So we'll try it in this teal. Yeah, I'm going to need more because that one, while it gives you 3 spots of that dark teal, that helps move your eye around. Yeah, needs more than one. So I'm happier with that. Now we have 3 notes, the 2 stencils and the piece on the bottom. But then I feel like the right side is kind of cut off, kind of fades away into paleness. So this helps bring it all back together. Tie the 2 sides together. It's just a dirty stencil brush. I'm just tapping a little paint onto the edge. So again, this could be done. But there's the warm tones in that stenciled paper. There's the yellow in the star, and there was gold on that teal paper on the very bottom. And I just wanted to put a little bit of gold in this. Just a tiny, tiny accent. Sorry for my arm. This is Liquitex Gold Acrylic Paint. Yep, I do have it splattered on my watch, on my tabletop. That's fine. It's easy to clean up. But I think it was just the right note, again, to highlight the yellow and the honey tones in the stenciled paper and just give it a little extra fanciness, interest. So thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week for another episode of Color Stories. Enter to win. Don't forget.